Hello, everybody, and welcome to the ClassicWhoZone's Classic Who Zone, the Edge of Destruction. I forgot to put the in the title. I apologize for that. I will fix it when it goes up on YouTube. So yeah, got the DVD ready, and I'll send out my emails to my panelists that are coming on. Nice to see you all. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Also, just a little notice for everybody out there. I've decided to put post approval on my Facebook group because, to be quite honest with you, there's a couple of reviews up there that are absolutely disgraceful. The tone of the language, calling certain people check boxes and all of this other rubbish. I'm actually getting tired of this, our side of the fandom, to be honest. Seems like there's a lot of moan holes out there, moaning just for the sake of moaning. I even had it out with someone that made a comment on the episode but didn't watch it, but was commenting because they saw some reviewers' video on it, even though that reviewer themselves have said that they're just taking the piss out of the show. So, unless you're being honest, and unless you've watched the episode, I'm post approving everything because, as I said to that person, we're not going to be echo chambers here, and if you can't give it a fair shake, then don't watch it, or don't even make a comment if you haven't watched it either. I don't get that. A lot of this starts happening. I seen an article as well by someone out there saying that fans were disappointed by the CGI in the first episode. It was one scene that fans were giving out about, right? They can't, you know what? I'm getting sick and tired of all of this crap. People just overblown the hate for this episode, last week's episode. Yes, it wasn't perfect. Yes, it does have its flaws, but to make it out to be one of the worst things that you've ever seen is an absolute joke. And I'm sorry, yous are wrong. Yous are wrong. And I'm not putting up with that bullshit because at the end of the day, look, I get why people don't like Chris Chibnall, but if you're going to let your hatred cloud your judgment, well then, fair enough. I don't have to put up with that, and I won't be. I'm sick and tired of it all now. Right? Then people accuse me of lowering me standards. I haven't lowered me standards, but I've given this episode a fair shake, like all my panelists have. I've given it a fair shake, and I've given it an honest critique based on what they seen, right? But when I see the same keywords being thrown out there in these articles and people talking about the episode, I'm sorry, I'm going to call it out, right? I know yous all hate Chris Chibnall and Jodie Whittaker and what they've done, but at the end of the day, if you can't be honest and give it a fair shake, then there's no point of even opening your mouth, to be quite honest with you. I'm sick and tired. I'm sick and tired of it all. All I'm getting is tagged into fucking people's reviews, and all it is just the same old crap from the last 2 years. Right, so I've sent all the emails, have I? Oh, hold on, I think I'll send one more. Right, I've sent the email to my 3 panelists, so yeah, we'll get into this anyway. Back to Classic Who. William Hartnell. I'll get my DVD ready. Right, we've got all our guests ready. So let's bring them on. Because I want to get this started ASAP. So if you're already in the chat anyway, do me a favor. Let us know in the chat by the usual pressing 1. Let me know that you have our DVD or wherever you are watching it on ready. Thanks very much. Right, let's bring on our guests. We got the one and only real super doctor. We've got
Hey.
and we've got Queen Charlotte on the channel. Welcome, guys.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you all doing?
Not bad.
Good.
Brilliant. Great response, Lee, as usual. Brilliant. Yeah, we haven't seen you all week. Have you been hiding, working, busy?
I haven't been well, so I've just been.
What was wrong with you?
Just.
Did you have
change
the
the
flux?
season.
Did you have the flux? Was that what?
Yeah, I've had plenty of flux. I have to
You've
say.
had plenty of flux, have you?
Lots of flux.
Right. Yeah.
Like,
Well, at least the shit
hanging in
coming out
tethers.
your ass is pure than some of the shit that's coming out of people's mouths. So I suppose you've got a valid excuse. But yeah, we're here for obviously the edge of destruction. I forgot to put the in the edge of destruction. Fucking, I hate when I do
the definite article, you might say.
Yeah, I hate when I do that, when I make mistakes like that. But
That's the fun of YouTube, though. You can fix it afterwards.
I know, that's the good thing. By the way, officially the channel says that we still have 2,000 subscribers, but in the YouTube studio it's gone down to 1,998 again.
Oh, they're going to keep playing with you. They're going to keep knocking you off.
We're going to keep playing with that now over the next couple of weeks now until finally we get a group of people that come on and it gets over the 2,000 mark and it gets into the 20s. Then we'll be fine. But yeah, YouTube's already messing with me, bastards. Or it could be
you pissed people off.
Acting the bollocks and just fucking unsubscribing for the day. Because I noticed as well when I reached 2,000 subscribers, I checked and it went back down to 1,999, went back up to 2,000 again. So I think someone's messing.
Could be.
But as I said to you all yesterday, thanks very much anyway for all the support and reaching that milestone. Very humbling. Thank you. But we're here obviously for the edge of destruction. So I think everybody is ready in the chat. So will we just get going with it, and we'll I don't want to do episode selection this time. I'll just fucking play all. Hopefully I don't fucking get some crap coming up on my screen now. Right, so Queen Charlotte, whenever you're ready.
Yep, so 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah.
There we go. Oh, for fuck's sake.
No,
music hasn't come on yet because it's the DVD. I press play and the Dalek is moving around the fucking screen. It hasn't even come on yet. What's this Doctor Who beginning shit? Right, you'll have to wait because I'm pissed off today anyway. So
Restart. We have to restart it.
Let's do a restart. Everyone stop. Restart. Start again. Start again. Full start.
This even the fucking start of it because I can't be. I'm actually pissed off today.
You see, that's the problem with the beginning set because they've got that wee intro at the beginning.
That's what I mean. It's the same fucking intro. Stop with your fucking. I'm ready now. Sorry, guys. Sorry. See that? I knew I should have fucking went into episode selection. Maybe not. Maybe it'll work this time. But I'm a fucking idiot.
Well, this is true.
You be quiet, you. Nobody asked you for your opinion. Right, I'm ready this time. So let's do that again. Everybody in the chat, please press. Eyes are already fucking ready. Got Charlotte.
Take 2. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Go. Right, there's the music. Do.
Yeah.
Can't whistle today. That's good.
Well, you're not well. That's probably
That
why.
might be something, yeah. Dry mouth. About the booth.
Right, how many parts is there to this? Because I didn't check.
I think it's a 2-part.
Yeah, I've got 2 parts.
Yeah,
So.
it's 2
Oh, it's only 2
Look
parts.
how small the TARDIS console room is.
Right, well then that's all right. That'll do. I'll do.
Yeah, this is one of the really short ones in comparison to all the other stories in his run.
And it's the first story to take completely inside the TARDIS, so we see much more of the TARDIS in this one.
Yeah, this is basically what do we call them nowadays? Bottle episode. Like this is the first Doctor Who bottle story, you could say.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was them saving budget and just using the fucking studio,
Yeah.
instead of all the sets that they had to build.
Well,
and
you
stuff.
think like the Dalek one, that must have. We all said that last week. The amount of sets were impressive, so it makes sense that now they had to do a really bare bones. But it's a clever idea for a bare bones story. I do like the idea.
It's a psychological thriller.
That's the thing. They didn't They didn't let the excuse of that it was like that one set stop them. They were still very creative with what they did with it.
Poor old Bill having to lie on the hard floor.
Is Barbara wearing some leather fucking trousers there?
They were when she was in the last story, the Daleks. The Thals gave her the trousers because she had
noticed them,
climbing out.
though. See, that's the thing. You don't know. I didn't notice that, but yeah, Jesus.
So that's
looking
from
good, girl. In
Scarrow.
those, looking good in those trousers, love.
She does, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Oh, the acting here is superb. I know you. I'm Yaz the Plank. Oh, I mean, I'm Susan.
Don't insult Susan by comparing her.
She's turning to me.
And they had 2 different writers for each episode who both had their own ideas, which becomes apparent in part 2, says Unknown 289. Part 1, they set up the mystery, which part 2, well, okay, so it looks like Unknown was not a fan of part 2 of this story. So, yeah.
Yeah, but here's the thing, problem. You said, "Oh, poor Bill, he's on the floor." In the Daleks, he was ill. Like he spent most of this season being ill as the Doctor.
Yeah.
He's not had a good run. He's not had an easy run so far, has he?
Listen. I guess he's cool in socks.
What happened?
You can see that the television is on casters. You can see that.
Oh yeah, you can. Reminds me of back at school when they'd have like a big telly and they'd wheel it in.
Do you remember those propaganda videos they used to show you, and then they'd show you all of these health and safety videos back in the day in school?
Oh God, yeah. Terrified you as a
kid.
They're still terrifying
bad.
today.
Yeah, since they were bad when I was at school. Like what they call
they were a lot worse back in the 80s.
Yeah. They were back then because they got to the fucking point. Like, there's little Billy playing with electrical wire. This is why you don't play with electrical wire.
They were really graphic as well.
Were.
They didn't pull punches.
They were.
Even the TARDIS console was in casters as well.
Yeah, it does. You can see.
I think the most graphic one of those ads that I ever seen was one on Eurosport about 5-6 years ago. I think I told you about this. It's a bunch of lads in a bar and they're having a drink, and then this gorgeous looking woman is walking through the bar, and they all turn around to, look at her basically, and she gets flung across the fucking pub and smashed into the bar. Don't drink and drive.
Oh, I remember that.
And her fucking arm is twisted, her head is twisted, and her leg is twisted. It's fucking very graphic.
No, did you get the child one where they had a little kid? Like
where the car goes over the back garden and squashes the kid. The kid is playing on the back.
There was another one where the kid, they basically reversed time on a kid who had been hit. So you saw this little like boy or girl, can't remember who it was to be fair, in like voiceover saying, don't drink and drive or you'll do this to me. and this kid, like, in real time went backwards, and, like, you could saw all the... Oh, it was creepy.
Yeah. There's another one a few years back as well that I seen an old woman, I think it was either an old woman or an old man, and they come out of the supermarket and they have a tray of eggs in their hand. And they're looking both ways across the road, and then as soon as they cross the road, they get a bang of a car, and you actually see them getting it. It's very graphic.
Yeah, I remember when we had that road traffic day, and like the policeman came in and showed us a very graphic video, and it was like, yep.
Oh, shut up, Susan! You've already fucking started annoying me.
Yeah.
She's a bit hysterical. Like, it does get a little.
Yeah,
this
she's
is when
hysterical in this one, isn't she?
Yeah, it's the sort of the known things people might not like as much about her.
I keep forgetting that she is supposed to be a teenager in it, and that's the way a typical teenager would have acted back then, I suppose.
Yeah,
ship can't crash. It's impossible. She says, "Well,
yeah, well, yeah,
that's changed.
That has changed.
That's changed a long time ago."
Yeah, I don't mind watching the TARDIS crash though. Matt Smith saying, yeah, even though I thought when he did the Geronimo, I wasn't too sure about him. But the TARDIS crashing and the way it was going along in the sky, I love that. I thought that was great.
Yeah.
I think the problem is it's just been done too many times at this point.
Yeah. So they must have had someone constantly behind that door, opening and closing it as he was doing his scene.
On the string or something.
Yeah. Oh, terrible acting. Oh,
it's so dramatic.
Oh, she's dead. No, she's not. She's not going to die yet. Oh. Of course she has. I think she has tights on because you can see her knees there and you can see the way they're not.
Either that, she's got very old knees.
Oh, very bad knees. Did anybody watch the new Wurzel Gummidge? I haven't watched it yet.
I caught the end of it by accident.
But
I haven't seen it yet.
I watched it when the first 2 episodes came out, and I was a bit worried because they were talking about climate change on it. But it was a great 2-parter. I really enjoyed it. I do like that take of Wurzel Gummidge. It's more true to the books anyway. But I have to say, Mackenzie Crook does a great fucking... That's his name, isn't it? Yeah, he does a great fucking job.
Yeah, my old mate, we used to do drama together back in the day.
He does a very good job, and he fits it perfectly. Now, I'm still
lovely guy.
I'm still a bit like... I kind of don't like the Wurzel Gummidge, the way he looks. But I can understand why he looks like that now in this modern version. Yeah, but that's the thing. Of course, it is about the climate and the environment and all of that.
Well, one that was on tonight was Guy Fawkes. That was the theme. Firework night. So there was. I caught the last 5 minutes because my parents were watching it for Strictly Next. So that was the theme.
Well, here's the thing. It might be a bit preachy, but the writing was good. See, I think people need to start, seeing things that way. Might be a little bit preachy, but there is a good story there. The writing's good, the acting is good. So, I've no problem with it. I love Wurzel Gummidge. I love the original, obviously, like everybody does. But I like this updated version, and I will watch. I think I watched the first 2 when it first dropped, and then they showed a year later. Then they showed another 2, and now they've decided to do a Halloween special. So it's 3 stories to watch now. So I'll watch them. Because
has Mackenzie done a role in New Who?
No, he hasn't.
I'm amazed he hasn't, because
he'd be a doctor,
he would be perfect for anything.
He's got Doctor Who vibes about him. I just don't know. Because see, when he was interacting with the kids in Wurzel Gummidge, it was very like the Doctor and companion. You know that sort of chemistry, and they're all together with each other and that, and trying to solve a problem.
To see if he does become the Doctor one day, he'd be the first. He would be the second Doctor to be not only the Doctor but also Wurzel Gummidge.
I was thinking he would just be. He could even play a good villain role in the show. But I'm amazed he hasn't had a part yet.
Well, he's too busy hanging around with the likes of Johnny Depp and people.
Yeah, that's it. And there's talks already. Some of Johnny Depp's co-stars have come out and said there's no reason why he shouldn't play Captain Jack again. I think it's gonna happen. I do. I want it to happen. Listen, the last 2 pirate movies were disappointing. Actually, I'd go as far as to say the last 3 pirate movies were, right. The first 2 were brilliant in the franchise. The third one, I went to the cinema to see, and I was actually very disappointed with it. And the 2 after that, I wasn't a fan of. But if they're gonna reboot it again, which is what they've been saying, but it can only be with Johnny Depp, though. It can only be with Johnny Depp. He is Captain Jack Sparrow, like.
And he's had a good break from the role. I think the problem was it was too soon each movie. Now he's had a bit of a breather from it.
Exactly.
He can bring something new to it again because it was getting a bit old hat.
That's it. Bring back Keira Knightley and what's his face?
Orlando Bloom.
Orlando Bloom, yeah. Look, whether you like them or dislike them as actor and actress, they're not the best, I have to be honest, but they're actually good in those movies.
Oh, I'll never forget it was on telly, like the first one, ages, like absolutely years ago now, but I'll never forget my mum, because she went, "Oh, what's this?" And I gave her like the worst description. I said, "Oh, it's a Disney movie." And I said, "This is like the first Pirates of the Caribbean movie." And afterwards, when she watched it, she went, You were lying to me. I said, "What?" She said, "That wasn't a Disney movie." I said, "Technically it is." She went, "Even with the skeletons?" I was like, "Yep."
Is that where he said fornicator?
No, it's when he goes over to the word
and he said fornicator instead of the word that he was supposed to say.
Oh, look at him with that on his head. He can pull it off, but it does look a bit silly.
Oh, look at Susan. She looks like a serial killer.
Yeah, she looks like a complete psychopath at this point.
Yeah, Johnny Depp's first movie was A Nightmare on Elm Street He was in was it part 1 or 2?
So you can see the wall there on casters as well.
Yeah.
Robert says, I enjoyed Wurzel Gummidge, maybe preachy in places, but not in a bad way. There is preachy and then there is preachy. I agree, and that is the difference. But people sometimes can't distinguish from the difference between the two, so they'll just automatically say, "Oh no, that's not for me. It's woke."
She looks like she's from The Handmaid's Tale in this, doesn't she?
She does, yeah. Yeah, Cheryl watches that. She actually showed me a scene once. I have never watched that program.
I watched one episode. That was enough.
And there was a particular scene, and I have to be honest, I was like, wow, this actually does look good, but I'm not into shows like that. That's not my thing. I don't like those dystopian, fucking future dystopian things. I don't like them.
Everything's
with his grandfather. I am a psycho. I want to kill.
And poor Barbara's trying to like do her sort of her motherly side comes out, and
Oh, Leland Gaunt says the preachiness is written to appeal to huffy, self-righteous teenagers. Yep, can't agree more.
Oh, hi Marty, nice to see you in chat.
I mean, the TARDIS has such a sinister effect over its occupants. I mean, turning its occupants into psychopaths as well as murderers, or even if they steal a part of the TARDIS and the TARDIS doesn't like it. The TARDIS is because it's like a kind of sentient being that thinks for itself. It takes over the mind.
The TARDIS is like if anybody's a cat owner, you know that's the TARDIS. That the cat can like you sometimes, but if it doesn't like you, it will scratch you. It will make it very well known that it doesn't want your attention. So I always see the TARDIS as almost like a cat.
Well, it is quite like that because it needs to be kind of treated, because it's a sentient being. It can think like a computer, but it's like a organic living thing in a way.
It reacts to emotions, to how you treat it, and that's why I love the stuff in when it was Capaldi and Clara, how the TARDIS didn't like Clara, and I didn't like Clara, so I was so happy when like the TARDIS would deliberately mess with her in some of the episodes.
I mean, look how throughout the 13th Doctor, I mean, it completely didn't like the change for some reason or another.
And now it's literally falling apart around her, so...
Yeah.
God, she does look like something from The Conjuring, doesn't she, Susan?
Yeah.
Like a demon child that somebody needs to exorcise. And I'm sorry, fireworks are going off at my end. So if you hear bangs, that's fireworks.
I must find outside the ship, Susan. Hey, nothing happened to me, indeed. Ha 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 ha. That's very curious. That can't be what's outside the ship. Close the door, Susan. Yes, the planet Quinus of the fourth universe.
Are you sure?
The way he looks around with his eyes, he's like a very kind of, a very kind of dark, mysterious being. Like, you don't know much about him, but he's very tricky in that, and he's very cunning.
Yeah,
he's a flyo bugger. The first Doctor, very fly, and
super
that's what I like
for
about
a white
him.
guy. Madam.
What is inside, madam, is more important. Precisely. You sabotage my ship. You're the cause of this disaster, and both Susan and I are unconscious.
But him not getting the words out is very, it's very naturalistic.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, only Bill can get away with flubs. Like no other actor could.
Yeah.
You would go, God, that's bad. But like you said, it's part of the charm almost of his Doctor now that he does have these little lines.
Oh,
and like this episode also is very much exploiting the fact that they're still relatively new, Barbara and Ian, to the TARDIS. They're not sort of settled in yet, and this episode is fully exploiting that and using that, which is really good. Like you couldn't have done this like in the next series. I don't think it wouldn't have made sense. But to do it now when they're still relatively sort of just getting over the Daleks, and they're just sort of having one moment of peace, and then it comes into this.
So what I don't understand is that well, that's a part of the clue that there's something wrong with time, and it's giving them warnings and all that, and it's knocking them unconscious and that. But although it's a bit silly, but it does have a a bit of meaning to it. When we find out later.
Yeah, and like you said, it's a good thing for building tension as well, isn't it? In the story, you just sort of think like, what? Why are they being knocked out? And like all the questions you're sort of asking throughout.
And here's the cunning, manipulative doctor going to take the eyes out their head.
I'm surprised they trust to drink this. I am a bit surprised they even follow through with this plan of his.
See, if he was smart, and if they were smarter, he would have think, well, I'll give it the first one to Susan, and then I'll trust it.
Perfect. A perfect nightcap to help us relax and sleep. The TARDIS looks completely... It's like MFI manufactured, and it's completely uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's very much a ship at this point, isn't it?
Well, it was a ship that they escaped to Gallifrey, him and Susan.
But you're saying that, but there is nice little touches like the chair and the head, and the hat stand. So there's little signs of it being somewhere somebody lives. But yeah, the overall look is quite clinical, isn't it?
Yeah. But I think that all the effects that the Doctor's picked up in his travels, he's kept it inside his TARDIS.
Yeah, so it's just the right. Yeah, it's just the right amount of personality for the. I think the first Doctor wouldn't have his TARDIS full of a load of knickknacks and stuff he'd collected. He would just have little things.
Because this, I'm sorry to say, but he's a fugitive Doctor.
At this point,
he's run away. And so is Susan the fugitive as well. So they've ran from the planet, and they've actually done something in the planet to escape it. They didn't just escape it to see the universe. There's more to it than that.
Yeah, it's been romanticized a lot in the current one, hasn't it? From the beginning of it being like, oh, I wanted to run away, but if you actually think about it, they probably did do something, which means they're in danger if they if the Time Lords caught up with them again.
Yeah, and it's the interesting thing is it was hinted in Remembrance of the Daleks that the first Doctor had left the Hand of Omega behind, and it was described that Hartnell's Doctor had left it in a place that it wasn't described in the first story, but you could see that there was a hint that his mission was to kind of plant something there in November 1963.
Mm. Yeah, coming up to its anniversary very soon.
60th.
Well, I mean, this November, and we're coming up to the 58th anniversary.
Well, November's always celebrated, isn't it now? God, I've said that. What? Oh no, I'm not even going to imagine what they'll do.
Yeah, best not.
No. When you start to have a thought and then you go, no, I'm not going to finish that thought.
No. Actually, what day does that fall on? Let's have a look. Oh, yes, Tuesday. So, the episode on the 21st would be interesting, I should imagine. It'd be like, here's another retcon you didn't ask for.
Well, what episode will we be falling on then? What episode of the current one what number will it be?
21st. That's episode 3.
I'd be more worried if it was episode 6 that was landing on, because he probably is going to do some stupid, but we won't get into that.
Oh, well, yeah. Anyway.
Well, it's called Once Upon a Time, the third episode. So, as I said, when I said this last week anyway, and I keep saying it, Chibnall's a man of habit. He will throw a curveball in. It'll depend how destructive it is. I'm under no illusion. This man is a man of habit. Just because we gave the first episode an honest appraisal, I've said second and third episode is where now he'll have to obviously.
Actually, no. If it's a 6-episode run, the third makes sense to do do something, and then episode 6 he'll do another.
Exactly. So
yeah, that makes sense.
From Once Upon a Time is how you start a story, isn't it? So it's going to be like they're going to go back. This is where they go back to.
See, I thought that was because of the angels, but the angels are after that.
Well, the angels could send the Doctor back to ancient Gallifrey or something. That would be probably how it works out. I think the angels is the episode afterwards, episode 4. Right. Okay. So I don't think that's. But we'll see. But yeah, I remember that title now. You've said it, and yeah, as soon as I saw it, I was like, it's either angels or he's going to do something stupid. Or once could be referring to the first Doctor.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll have to say.
But they can't keep bringing out Bradley, because Bradley's getting older now.
They won't. Come on, this is the current run. They won't be arsed enough to bring Bradley. They'll just do something lazy and mess around. Yeah.
Anyway, enough of that.
Because I think that Chibnall will bring back Susan. I've got a funny feeling.
We'll see. To be honest, I don't really want to talk about it. We'll talk about it tomorrow, man.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah. Plenty of chat tomorrow and during the week about it. So let's just enjoy this episode. So is everybody in the chat ready?
All right.
Yeah.
Press 1 if you are.
Yeah, you know the drill, people.
All in episode 3. He always does. He's a man of habit. Think about A Fugitive of Judoon, which was the 4th episode, I think, but we had 8 episodes or 10. So he likes to throw a curveball in midway through. So don't be surprised if there is something happens. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's get with this. Everybody's pressed 1. So Charlotte, go for it there, love.
Yep. So 5.
Oh, sorry, I'm a sexist pig for saying that. Apparently, Rod Stewart was criticised because he calls people love and darling. So if I offended you in any way by calling you love, I do apologise.
Well, it's all right. That means most of us Northerners offend people because love's an endearment term.
Well, in the Southwest, more often than not, women use it more than men, but they call people lover or lover. It's usually women who say it.
Well, you see, the thing about it is it's only no offence to Charlotte, she's grand, but younger women seem to be offended by this, or feminists, I should say, seem to be offended by this. Go and take a hike. If you don't want people calling you, that's fine, fair enough, but don't be getting offended about it.
Better than being called a cunt.
That's the one. And I do apologise for Lee's
language.
Language.
Outrageous. Oh no, room full of adults. What will they do?
Just the language, but there you go. We've heard worse on this channel, but it doesn't matter. Go for it. Do the countdown.
So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Go.
No problem. There's the music. Do. Woo! We're going on a trip. Woo! I don't know why people think Dave or Bradley, Colin Baker, Sylvester McCoy are coming in the centenary special. They're not coming in the centenary special.
Well, no. It's just because it is a little bit peculiar to have all of them 3 basically at Cardiff. That's all it is.
Yeah, but it's got to do for a documentary, man. They're BBC are doing a documentary on the 100 years. They're not going to be in Doctor Who. They're just going to be talking about the show.
That's what I think it's going to be.
Or unless they're doing voiceovers.
Well, it seems strange. I mean, couldn't they have been interviewed in London where it's easier to get to? It just seems a bit unusual to go to Cardiff.
They might want to film like actual bits. That's the difference. So if it's more than just They might want to film little things of them maybe on certain sets or...
Yeah, maybe.
Well, the reason why they're probably in Cardiff as well is for the simple fact is, if you think about it, Cardiff now is finished doing Doctor Who. So they probably brought them there for the centenary because it'd be the last time that they were going to be using Cardiff. So,
yeah.
Mm. But look, we'll wait and see. I doubt they're going to be in any Doctor Who story. I reckon they're just going to be talking about when they were doctors in the show.
It would have been nice if the older doctors were a part of that that museum, like the curator was. That maybe Peter Davison could have been another curator or something like that, and McCoy, or it could be a cleaner or something like that. They could have done something like that.
I would have loved to see them in the 50th, but we got Tom Baker, so I don't really give a shit about the rest of them. Forget about it. Tom Baker is the definitive article. He was in it. Good enough. I know the rest of them were crying and throwing their toys out of the pram because they weren't part of it. Well, you're going to bring the best doctor in. The best doctor was Tom Baker. So, sorry, lads,
And it's the way they treated him as well on the set for that.
Only Matt Smith treated him well.
It's a bit very sad because
the scenes,
Tom Baker's ambassador for the
show. He was
show.
sitting around on his own a lot, but Matt Smith was the one that was sitting and talking to him and stuff. So
I don't.
Can you imagine ignoring Tom Baker?
I know.
I mean, it's impossible.
He said the cast and the crew. Yeah,
it's a special kind of psycho to not listen to Tom.
What I don't understand about that is, wasn't Tom's when Tennant was growing up, wasn't Tom his doctor? Tom and Davidson.
Yeah.
So why would Tennant not be talking with him?
Because
I'm not doubting it.
But there was no scene with Tennant and Baker. It was only with Matt.
Fair though, Tom Baker's quite well known to be a bit prickly, so he might have been in a foul mood, and people just stay away from him.
But at the same time, Tennant didn't have a scene with with Tom Baker. So I don't think he filmed that day when Tom Baker was on set.
Because I was going to say, I can't see Tennant not making not being the same.
But Matt made the effort. He was the only one because he was the current doctor, but he was the one that made the effort and sat down and would speak to him. But David Tennant hadn't got to say it. I'm pretty sure if David Tennant was there and Tom Baker was there, David Tennant would have been gushing over him.
Yeah, that's what I've always thought.
But he would have gushed over him because he loves.
I mean, there would be plenty of photo shoots beside David Tennant and Tom Baker and Matt Smith.
Yeah.
But they wanted to keep it secret, didn't they? So
yeah. So because David Tennant would have let the cat out of the bag.
He would have actually. That's a good point. He probably would have. He would have done something.
Because he would have lost his shit knowing that Tom Baker was in it and probably would have let it slip out. Not on purpose, but you know yourself, he'd let it, he'd let the cat out of the bag.
Hi, PD, we know you're modding currently, mate, so we know you're busy.
But, it was a disgrace the way Tom was treated, but there you go, that's the modern.
I do hope that they'll whistle something for Classic in the 60th. I know it's going to be hard, but I still have that hope there's something he manages to pull off.
I think the 60th is going to be fan service. So, as I said, I reckon we're going to get a lot of nostalgia, and then he'll start fresh then when he officially starts his series 14.
That's the good way. I think that's really clever how they've done it, that he gets that first episode as the 60th, and like you said, he can do all the fan dreams and all the sort of references and everything in there.
Because it would have been nice for a scene that the Doctor, if it was Matt Smith's Doctor, to kind of travel back and seeing Ian Chesterton as an old man.
He'll do something. Look at one thing about Russell T as well is that he brings a lot of the old cast and crew back from Classic Who and new characters. Think about it, your man that played Billy Shipton was in Classic Who. He was in the 10th Planet.
Yeah.
So He does a lot of that. He brought back Moffat brought back what's his name, Bernard Gribbins as well. We all know that he was in Doctor Who as well. So they have a habit of doing that. Chibnall, I think, is the only one that hasn't actually done that during his era.
No, there's one in the series, the Flux. He's brought one actor from Classic.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
but imagine if
that'll be the first one, yeah.
Imagine if Bernard Cribbins came back as Wilf. The fandom would melt.
Oh, wouldn't that be amazing? I think Catherine Tate, I know that was a rumour flying about and I didn't buy it for 1 second, but I think that she'd be good for the 60th Tate. Find a way to bring her back.
I don't know, though. I still wouldn't rule out Catherine Tate showing up in Flux, to be honest, because it was a bit weird that she was only down the road from where they were filming and she was in that area. So,
no, that would have leaked. That would have been leaked.
But in fairness, there was, even though she was seen around, there was no evidence like there has been around for other people that were spotted. No evidence that she was actually anywhere near Doctor Who filming. Obviously, we've seen Bradley Walsh had returned, so he's coming back, definitely. Now, whether he's coming back for Series 13 or he's coming back for the specials, Bradley Walsh is returning, so...
I guess would be specials.
I don't know what made it move. Well, I don't know. We're going to find out in Doctor Who Flux because the TARDIS is fucking dying.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't forget to join me tomorrow, guys. 2 streams tomorrow, as you know. So I'll be doing me live watch along. Myself and the TV. And I'll be reacting live to the episode. And then we'll have the panel. And it'll be very interesting to see how everybody feels tomorrow. You know.
It does look like a good one with the Sontarans in it, I have to say.
It does. And they've already showed a picture. So that female crystal girl, she's going to be in tomorrow's episode, which means then he is character development. At least her anyway. She's getting more development in the second. This is what I said needed to happen. Some of these characters introduced need to be developed further now. And it looks like he might be actually doing that. But look, we won't know until we watch tomorrow. That's the thing. So we'll see. But I have to say the titles are easier to pronounce this year, which is a good fucking thing.
Not the winky wanky do of the Sontarans or whatever.
So when do we get the 7-day consolidated figures? On Monday for the first episode?
Oh, I don't know. That's the point. Well, it's 7. Yeah, so maybe Monday then we'll get the consolidated and the overnights, obviously.
Well, we already know the overnights were 4.33, but it's the consolidated figures that I'll be interested in seeing because obviously the first episode dropped on Halloween, so it's unfair to kind of measure the success of the episode on the night that they dropped it on, which is Halloween night. They shot themselves in the foot there. But a lot of people are just latching on to that. Oh, look, it's the lowest ever. Wait till the over. Wait.
Yeah, but as your season opener, it's not a good sign. You got to admit that much.
No.
Yeah, but it was on Halloween night, though. That's the thing, though.
Yeah,
if
I didn't have a single
episode.
I didn't have a single trick or treater knocking at my door.
That's why I'm saying the 7-day consolidated figures will be a true representation. Because
it was raining mostly everywhere, so I don't think many people were out.
Now come on.
No,
come on. It doesn't matter whether it was raining or not.
Well, we'll see.
First time that kids and parents would have been allowed to go out for Halloween for months. If it was,
I didn't have one.
They would have dragged that.
We didn't have any. We didn't have any. So I understand where you're getting from. I don't think it's a good excuse though. Honestly, from my argument.
Plus, it gets dark early. I think they would have been out early if they were doing it at all, rather than at that time. Plus, like, I mean, if kids wanted to watch it and were excited to watch it, they would have stayed in and watched it.
Didn't the consolidated figures already come out Friday?
No, it would have been 7 days.
No, 7 days. 7 day. So it'll be Monday.
Yeah, it'll be on Monday.
I love the fact that Ian's in a dressing gown. And
yeah, I'm in one myself right now. That's why I'm not on camera. Just couldn't be arsed getting dressed today.
You got your wife's pink one on?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, I fucking do. You know, my show doesn't even save. People could only fucking see the way you're fucking dressed like. She just give me a right out slagging for it. But it's fucking warm, right? She didn't get me one, so I just took hers. There was figures on Friday though. They couldn't be the 7 day because it wouldn't be 7 days.
Yeah, are you talking about the AI?
You're talking about the AI
afterwards.
Because I will admit the AI is quite disturbing that it's gone down to the 70s, and I won't lie about that. But as I said, for me personally, I don't think it's a true reflection until the 7 day figures come in, because they did show it on a Halloween night because they're fucking idiots at the BBC. Why you'd show it on Halloween, not the day after, just baffles me. But Chibnall had to have his Sunday night, you know? They should have actually started this week. Dropped the first episode this week.
Yeah, because even the Halloween was a very loose connection.
Yeah, only because he said trick or treat.
Yeah, it wasn't like a Christmas special where you couldn't show that not on Christmas because it was so baked into the story. The Halloween stuff was very surface level, couple of lines of dialogue.
Trick or treating at the start,
so they easily could have put that. Any of it, I think they should have. I agree with you. They should have just done it this weekend and not had the Halloween theme because it was so lackluster as a reason to put it on that night.
There we go. I love this speech.
That's how the process goes on and on. Until dust is formed, becomes solid entity. A new birth of the sun in its planet.
I love that.
See, this is pretty. Like we said, this is a bottle episode, but that's a nice little shot there of the planets.
It's a doctor moment, which is more doctor than current one, you know. Her and her fair play bollocks.
Hartnell had quite a lot of good speeches in Doctor Who, from the very word go when he was on the set of the Unearthly Child.
I think that's partly why they cast him, wasn't it? Because they knew he could do these sort of monologues very well.
Yeah.
Like, look at here, he's just there by himself, nobody else in the scene, and he's just commanding it.
The button's still stuck.
All this over a bloody malfunction of a button.
I'd done that to a set of traffic lights once, and it was.
I have to admit, this is Chibnall level. Right.
And the traffic lights button stuck right in, and the cars were going crazy.
Well, you just like, I'm just going to walk.
Anyone think to check?
Because I could hear bleep 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 bleep, and then the cars all stopping, and then the cars going forward, and then the cars stopping again, bleep 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 bleep.
Have you tried switching it off and on again?
Yeah. Have you tried banging it? That's the other thing.
Yeah, I need the mallet.
I mean, the TARDIS is like a massive computer. It needs defragmented for a while because it stores so much space up, and it's because the thrust. I'm surprised they didn't use the jettison button to jettison some of the parts of the TARDIS to get thrust to get out of what the big crunch, the singularity, the end of the universe that they're actually
that
in.
Would have been perhaps a bit more. I think all that sort of idea of the transcendental sort of dimensions are not fully rounded and understood yet, so they haven't really delved into that so much. But that would have been a good resolution. Oh, bless him. Yes, all right, explain it to us.
In English, if you could, Doctor. Oh, I love PD's.
Your own grandfather is going a tiny bit around the bend.
Yes, PD, the end of the universe. Where have we heard that recently?
Oh, here, originally.
See, him and Ian are learning to play nice with each other. They're not like, Ian's not threatening to hit him.
It's great that Ian's just get full control over the situation, and he knows how to kind of play with the Doctor now because of his smartness.
You can tell that
Barbara's not impressed.
No, because Barbara was right all the time, and they just didn't listen to her and didn't give her credit for it. And look, he's all bumbling about it and that, and he'll look at me, look what I done. I solved it myself.
Yep, she's not letting it go that easily.
That's what we love about Barbara.
Yeah. But that's one of the good things about the companions. They're there when the Doctor isn't always, he isn't always smart enough to work out the situation or work out the problem, what is really going on, or they're the companions there to get him out of it.
Yeah, I think that sometimes the Doctor is guilty, even at this early stage, to think too big, and it takes the human companion or whatever the companion is, but usually human, to almost make him think, no, actually, stop thinking so big. Stop thinking so, big picture. Look at the smaller details. And that's what Barbara...
I don't love his reaction to the Doctor laughing. I don't think I've underestimated that young lady in the past. I think you underestimate all your companions. Except for Susan. You're right to underestimate her. She's just a screaming one. But this is what I like about the Doctor, you see. And this is what's been missing from the current Doctor. See, if the Doctor does wrong or he thinks he's gone too far, he will actually go and apologise in his own way.
Oh, yeah.
But because the Seventh Doctor, he's getting really darker at that point, and he's manipulating Ace and that, and the way he was manipulating Ace in the Curse of Fenric, it was just showing him he was going a bit kind of too far with that.
Well, he had to do it, just to save everyone. That's a hard call to make, but the Doctor has to do what's right for the bigger picture.
Yeah.
There, see, he said that's what I like about
it. Daniel, we are a bit, aren't we? Have you seen what Daniel's just put in the chat? You've got the stubbornness.
Rather charming.
Yeah, Daniel, you've got the stubbornness of Ian.
Where did they get the clothes from? Harrods?
Look, he's even putting the bleeding jacket on her.
Sexist pig.
I know. Oh, I know.
You're not allowed to do that anymore or hold the door open for women anymore. or open a car door for women anymore because it's offensive.
Yeah, but if you don't do it, you're also a sexist pig.
But they forget the Doctor was portrayed as a gentleman as well as an eccentric.
Oh, it's no fakes now. I mean,
and this story that's coming up is probably a really good story, and sadly it's missing it, and that's great, and it's a great cast in it as well.
He looks a bit like Sherlock Holmes.
He's going to take his arm as well.
Oh, is this the Yeti one?
No, that's the second Doctor.
Oh, yeah.
That's second Doctor.
Yeah. Nice.
This one's Marco Polo.
The
one that they keep saying they can't animate.
I'm sure they can animate it.
Well, that's why I think they're testing out that motion capture stuff now, so they can at some point do something like Marco Polo with all the characters, because they said there was too many, didn't they, to animate basically.
Bottom line is this: BBC can, all of those missing episodes could be animated if they wanted to do it. The problem is that for them to do episodes like that or stories like that, they need a shit ton of money. They don't have it. That's why they, it's ridiculous, man, because people would buy these stories because we've already seen how well the other animations have done. Even the ones with the bad animation in it have sold because people want these stories. There's a need for them. But it's all got to do with money, man. It's just too expensive. Maybe eventually one day. You never know. With RTD coming back and the extra flow of cash coming in, maybe they'll be able to siphon off some of that cash and put it away for the animations and maybe do them then. We'll have to wait and see. But here, let's get straight into this. Anyway,
Charlotte got it.
2-part star. There you got it.
The Evil of the Daleks.
I still haven't watched it yet. Have you watched it?
No, it was a birthday present, so I'm gonna when I have time.
Nice.
It's a very good animation, I have to say. I'm really critical of the animation, and I think this one's really done its best. I mean, compare that to Fury from the Deep, which is absolutely
it's the same company, though. That's the baffling thing. Apparently,
I know, I don't get it.
Company and they've upped their game. I don't know, man. But look, we'll I can't wait to watch it myself. So
I think the Daleks in animation are really good. I have to say. Oh,
that's brilliant. Right, grade 2-part, and I give it a 10 out of 10, says Dave. So we got the 4 score in. So we'll go around their panel. We'll start with the Queen first. So your thoughts and what do you give to 2 stories out of 10?
I think this is just the right length, honestly, as 2 parts. It's very, obviously we've said it's not high stakes, they're all in the TARDIS. It's a very simple story, but I think it plays with that very well, of the unravelling of the sort of Susan going crazy, then Barbara going crazy, then the sort of how Ian and everybody has to sort of deal with that, and it is psychological. And I do think sometimes who doesn't need to have these sprawling 6-parters for it to be effective? And I think this story is proof of that. We get some brilliant Doctor moments with Bill. Susan is a bit over the top, but I suppose you could say she was playing what she thought she had to with the theme of the story. And Ian and Barbara, like we said, Barbara's sort of, she gets it. She's the one who sort of understands what's going on before anybody else. So that's nice. And then the Doctor sort of having that moment of having to almost eat a bit of humble pie with her and actually admit, which you can tell that wasn't easy for the first Doctor. So you're seeing Barbara's strengths. And like I said, they're still new, this team. They're still trying to find each other, like when it comes to how they work and who does what. So I think that also works in this story. So I'll give it a 9 because I quite like this. I remember when we did it before, I quite liked it.
Fantastic. Lee, when you're finished typing.
Yeah, sorry about that. It's a strange one because it starts off really interesting and then it kind of like ends with it was a broken spring. But you got that beautiful speech with the Doctor there, the Big Bang, which I believe is a load of bollocks, but never mind. It's all part of the Doctor Who universe, so I'm totally fine with that. And yeah, I think it's a nice little sort of character-driven interplay. You got a little bit of a sort of contrived, thrilling sort of thing. You're never really sure what's going on. Susan is just really fucking annoying in this. Sadly, I'm gonna have to give it I think it's 6. 5.5, 6. Yeah, right.
Fantastic. Lee Hobbs has to be awkward, doesn't he, with his 0.5s and all of this, doesn't he? Real super, Doctor.
Well, I would give it a 10 out of 10. I think it's a good story. I think it's a good story when all the companions are all together, and it's all nicely well done. When there's a problem, all the companions eventually come together and they work out what the problem is, and it's like you could see that the moments that they're fighting and disagreeing with each other, and then at the last minute they all came together and they worked out exactly what was going on in that, and how time has been taken away from them and that, and they'd realised that that there was a problem with the TARDIS console at the very end, and William Hartnell's Doctor and William Russell and checking this. It was the last switch he had pressed, and it was a fast return switch, and it was the cause of it, being that the TARDIS was drifted far into the future, that it passed all those boundaries, and that's when the reality and everything started to collapse. And yeah, it's a 10 out of 10 for me. It's a great story, and I did enjoy it.
Fantastic. Yeah.
Oh, I've got some news coming. Chapter 5 has been the name of the next episode apparently is dropped. I don't know if this is real or not, but this is so Chibnall. Bankruptcy of the Taran Wood Beast.
It sounds wordy enough to be Chibnall. It could be a fan making it up, though.
I'll read that again. Yeah. Bankruptcy of the Taran Wood Beast.
Right, hold on. Because if it did drop, then it would be
on the social.
Official sites have been dropping the synopsises and dropping the titles. So I'll see if that's a real title, because it doesn't fit in with the titles that he's given us so far, have to be honest. But
it could be nonsense.
I do agree with you, John. This would be something Chibnall. I spoke too soon when I said that all the titles were simplified. But,
I think you're going to get
probably
the first 2 are going to be simple, and then onwards we're going to get some silly ones.
No, you had the Halloween one, you have the Wardus on Tarns, you have Once Upon a Time, and then you have the Village of the Weeping Angels. That's the 4th one. They've already dropped the name of that one.
That's not too bad.
Okay, I can't see it, so it's probably.
So I reckon it's fake, yeah, because I can't see it here either, Lee. So we'll wait. No, and I think
that would be hilarious.
What'll happen is they'll do tomorrow's episode, and then they'll drop the episode a couple of days later.
I just want that to be the truth now, because I think that would just be hilarious.
So. Yeah, as I said, back to the episode that we were, the story that we were just watching. Yeah, look, it's not the greatest story in the world, but there is a lot going on within it. Susan annoys me anyway. This is where Susan started to really get on my wick. I just, man, she's a piss poor actress, and I hear people keep saying as well, oh, when is Susan going to come back? Listen, I don't want Susan part of New Who, right? She was I think she was in the Sarah Jane Adventures a few years back, and trust me, her acting hasn't gotten any better. Was it Sarah Jane Adventures?
Daniel will tell us, he's in the chat.
That was 5 Doctors.
Oh, it was the 5 Doctors, yes. Sorry, why did I...
She's all right in Big Finish.
But look, she's not a good actress, right? She's an old style actress, right? So she wouldn't suit Doctor Who today. She wouldn't have the gravitas, So no, I never want to see Susan appear again. But I do have a funny feeling that Chibnall will probably bring in his own version of Susan on this Doctor Who flux, but it won't be Carol Ann Ford because she's a terrible actress, and that's just the bottom line to it. Right? She's always been a terrible actress. She got lucky with Doctor Who, in my opinion. But yeah, what did I give this? 8 out of 10? Yeah, 8 out of 10. But yeah, Susan is the one that annoys me in this. But Ian and Barbara and the Doctor, they're just look. Both those three alone make this episode. I don't even know why you have Susan in it, to be honest. Yeah, she's granddaughter. Now fuck her out of the TARDIS and leave her there. Even Jesus Christ, man, put her on there for a few more.
Not a fan then. Right.
No, I never have been a fan of Susan. I take Adric over Susan any day of the week.
I think they did a misservice. I think if they'd have kept him more like in line with the timeless, not time. Fuck that fucking thing. The unearthly child. Jeez. Fuck you, Chibnall.
If he had kept her weird,
it would have been so much better.
Yeah, if they had kept her weird like they did in the first episode, I agree with you.
Not constantly falling over, screaming.
But she just became a joke, man. The typical, like in horror movies.
But it might have been the directors telling her to be sort of more melodramatic. I mean, that was the style of the day anyway. But I mean, it was so over the top.
It was. Our acting was over the top in this episode, especially when she falls on the ground. That just
it's funny.
That is hilarious, man. But yeah, I don't want to see Carol Ann Ford back in Doctor Who. Look, I know everybody likes her because she's the first.
She seems an absolutely lovely lady,
I say, but still, I don't give a shit. Like, leave her there. Leave her in the classic era. Don't be bringing her back. That's all I'll say. So, yeah, I mean, there's the fireworks again. Fuck off. I don't want to be hearing him barking now all day. Do you know what? I've had the worst sleep that I've had last night. Unbelievable, man.
Yeah, my dog was barking, and she doesn't bark a lot at night now, but she was last night. God love her, because they're starting now. These last couple of days.
I go to bed, right? And Ted's a small little dog, as you can see, right? But he sleeps in the bed because he won't sleep in his own fucking bed because of the fireworks. And when I get in, you think he was a 6 foot fucking dog. I'm lying at the edge of the fucking bed, and then I have the wife then rubbing all the fucking blankets, and I do be there fucking shivering, and I'm twisting and turning because I can't get comfortable because Ted has me at the edge of the bed. It was a fucking nightmare, man. Fucking nightmare.
That's the way it always works.
I'm thinking of even sleeping on the sofa tonight just to get fucking decent sleep, man. Fucking hell, man. It's bad. It's bad. I don't like Susan either. Yeah, Daniel, I agree. He's one of the worst companions ever. But I suppose the worst companion ever, we all know who that is. She's going to feature tomorrow. Yeah, super cop. So I wonder how she got sacked. I wonder if he'll show that because she was formerly a police officer.
Oh God, he's not going to show that. Come on.
Right.
Oh, yeah, everything happened off screen, that.
Well, she never turned up for work, and she was shit at her job anyway. So, like,
no, she's still the bestest ever.
She even got the whole scene last series, telling with her boss saying she was amazing.
Yeah. Did you watch the Halloween challenge videos that they're doing?
No.
No.
They've already done this before in Series 11. They did the same fucking shite then, and it's still embarrassing now.
Well, I will say one thing: Jodie Whittaker hates losing.
Can you imagine Tom Baker or Peter Davison?
Nah, they wouldn't do shit. Well, they did do shit, not shit like that, but they did do a lot of children's programs.
Yeah, but not bobbing for apples and bollocks like that.
Yeah, well, this was trying to knock cans down. Jodie Whittaker broke a frying pan when she was doing it. Then John Bishop broke a tennis racket. Mandip actually won. She got the most hits. But Jodie Whittaker hates losing. You should have seen her reaction.
Oh, why am I not surprised at that?
He hates losing. But Mandip won, and of course, it's probably the only thing she's ever won in her life because, like, her reaction was just over the top. But John Bishop again was so fucking funny in it. I just watched it because he was in it because I wanted to see how he would act. He got so annoyed that he got his tennis racket and he just flung it at the fucking cans like twice. He out of anger. He just went over to the cans and whacked them and whatever he had. He had to hit this little ball, right? So first they gave them a frying pan. A slingshot, right? So they had the slingshot first. And man, did fair play to her. She got it in first go. Jodie Whittaker managed to knock down one can in the first round, and John Bishop missed his first go. Then the second one, I think it was a frying pan they had to use. When Jodie went to hit the fucking ball, she hit it so hard that the frying pan fucking handle flew off. It was actually funny, but she hates losing, man. But John Bishop was so fucking funny.
She should be bloody used to it by now.
I'm losing to Jodie Whittaker. Right? And you should have seen Jodie's face when he said it.
That's the thing. When it's safe, John's going to have so many good jokes about being a doctor.
No, he's going to be one of the best characters in this, I'm going to say. But I'm glad that I've seen a poster now, and it looks like those two crystal. I forget what they're called. I just call them crystal people. They're going to be in tomorrow's episode. So as I said to you guys last week, it is very important that now he develops some of these characters that he introduced, or what's the fucking point? And it does look like they're going to feature. So there will be more character development, and then we're getting.
Well, let's see how much they actually feature in it, because he's already got a lot on his plate. He's got some Tarans, he's got historical, he's got, I think, Mary Seacole. I could be wrong. I think it's Mary.
Who is she, by the way? Because everybody's making a big deal out of her. Who is she?
Right, this is a very condensed version, but basically, when the Crimean War was going on and Florence Nightingale famously was out there, Mary Seacole was also out there, but because of basically, if I put this delicately, her skin color, she couldn't get the same sort of nursing job that she wanted, like Florence Nightingale.
Right.
So what she did is she set up like a hotel, and it basically doubled up as like a hospital, but it was known as a hotel.
She made money from that. She's a woman from history. She was a capitalist.
Yeah, but basically,
she's out because of the kindness of her own heart. Let's be honest.
So she's basically a woman from history that was erased, basically from history. But he's kind of.
This is how they're presenting it.
This is why I'm really nervous, because.
Well, he doesn't do historicals well. No. That's why I'm nervous as well.
No, it's always through the postmodern lens, right? Forget accuracy.
Here's the thing, Mary Seacole's a interesting, really good. Any other show writer, I'd be happy that she was like in the episode, but I don't want him to tokenize her because of obvious reasons, because of what I just told you as a very condensed version of her story.
Well, we'll find out tomorrow if Leah is right. I would just say let's wait and see until we watch it, and then we can, if we agree. Yeah. Then we'll see. But I will say this. I do have my concerns. I said this last week because he's not good at historicals anyway. And the thing about the thing that actually drives me mad is that fans that love this era think he does a great job with historicals. And it just goes to show you how uneducated these people actually are, because every historical that he's done has been an absolute disgrace, and the historical characters that he has brought forward, he has not done any of them any justice. I mean, especially the Demons of Punjab. Look, we all know the problems with Rosa, but Demons of Punjab was a perfect example of where he got it so fucking wrong.
Yeah.
Right? You're going to do the partition of India, you do it properly.
Right? It's been done before. The mutants was the story based.
You don't just focus on one fucking element of it like he does. He seems to pick up on an element of it that he believes need to be all racist back there. You know, on shit like tell the whole fucking story. I don't do it at all.
He doesn't get nuance with his off what he's done so far. Obviously, we'll see what he does tomorrow, but so far he doesn't get any nuance in his historical. It's always did they show point, very one-sided.
Did they show the where the Empire came in and stopped the widows throwing themselves on the husband's funeral pyre?
Nope.
because they stopped that. That was a thing.
But that's the thing. You could see in that episode, he clearly wanted to say Britain bad, Empire bad. That was the whole message. And like I said, we'll see what he does. But we all said last week there was no politics. He didn't have an opportunity to do it. And that's probably why it was received better. Now, in the episode coming up, he's got an opportunity to have his little politics. So we'll see if he once again can stop that, or if he's going to.
Well, can he do it justice is the question. That's the thing. Can he do it justice and leave out his personal fucking political beliefs and actually do the story as a straight shooter? That's the thing. But we'll find out tomorrow. Look, as I said, episode 2 and 3 is where it all falls apart. So we'll see. Yeah. And tomorrow we will find out. And it's going to be very interesting to see what happens. I will say the fact that the Sontarans are in the next episode, and I did like that little battle scene that they did show. I hope it is as epic as the trailer suggests, and there is substance to it. And he kind of, doesn't do what he's done with the last few years with his historicals, and he actually just does them properly. But this is Christian. Now we'll wait and see. Anyway, we'll wait and see. That's tomorrow. So he exploits history. It's disgusting. I agree with you. I agree, Daniel. That's exactly what he does.
Well, it's the postmodern lens being applied.
Exactly. Whereas he should be looking at it in the terms of the way it was back then. If you're going to do a historical, you have to show the good with the bad. And look, it might shock people on screen the way people were treated, but you don't tokenize it, but you tell both sides of the fucking story. Like, this is what
you don't just do it so you can then shout, "Aren't I brave? I've included X, Y, and Z."
Exactly.
The white knighting is
white knight.
Annoying.
So, just if you're gonna do what that storyline, Chibs, do it justice. Don't make Mary.
The female doctor goes back to the past, though. When you have a female doctor that goes back to the past, you're opening yourself up to all of this stuff, because let's be honest, and it was part of society, unfortunately, but women were classed differently and treated differently than men back in the day. So when you have a female doctor and you put her back in the past, you're kind of, you can't ignore those things. But the way he's done it, it's like, all men are bad and this, that, and the other.
Well, that's how divisive the whole thing has become, and this is why they want to do this, so that they can use it as a thing to browbeat you with and go, look at how evil history. Look, no one's sitting here justifying the horrors of history. It is what it is. But you shouldn't try to, present it in such a one skewed way. I mean, history should be all about the facts, and it's very difficult with history. It's understandable because you've got a lot of written accounts, and always history is written by the victors and rewritten later on by the people who want to deconstruct it. But you run into the problem where history becomes so mutable, and it really shouldn't be. Of course, there's a lot of things that are filled with gaps, and you can hazard a guess, but you have to apply the lens of the time, not the postmodern lens of today.
Oh yeah, what you can't do is put basically modern day sensibilities in time periods when they weren't there. It's like that Capaldi episode when it was set in Victorian London, and they had like the thin ice. I'm sorry, that how they portrayed London is not wrong. Historically correct, and they even had a line pointing it out. Almost
London, it was always more diverse than it says in history, but it's not true. It's not true. Even in my great grandfather's time, even in my grandmother's time, there were, when a black family moved in to a street, everyone knew about it because it was so unusual, right? And that was only in the 1930s, 40s, and even 50s. So
to go back all the way to Victorian times.
The only place you would find, sorry, Charlotte, cut across you, but I have to say, the only time you would see, especially in places like London or Liverpool, it's always around the docks. The docks is where you will find people from different cultures, because they will be visiting, because there will be traders from different countries, but they would only stick around like those particular areas near the docks, and it was very unsafe.
They wouldn't settle and live there. That's the point.
Very few. So there were more white people living in London from Poland, and the Jewish people that would move into parts of London like Brick Lane. There were a small, tiny Chinese number of people around. You were more likely to find people like that around in London at that time than African people, or you certainly would get certain Indian people, but usually like royalty who would like study in the English universities and things like that. But you just wouldn't have that level of diversity in London, not even close to that number. It was certainly not of all different walks of life, from top hat wearing. It just, no.
Yeah. No. And like I said, the thing that did do my head in is it was bad enough they did it, but they basically had a line telling you as the audience, shut up, this is what we're saying London was like. Yeah,
but then they admit, isn't it, like Piers Wenger says, they're portraying an idealized history rather than and it's not right to do that.
Moffat also defended it and basically said, yes, we were doing that on purpose.
Yeah, that's not right. That's denying the true horror and the true reality.
That's it.
I mean, we talk about Black History Month, and then you go and show London being this happy, diverse nation that didn't exist, and you're kind of denying the struggles that these people actually did face at that time, if they were in places like London, which is very, very, very rare. And they try and make all these claims throughout history, right back to like the Tudor times. There's like Henry VIII had I think like a trumpeter or something like that, or some page who was African. All that was known about him was his name and how much he got paid. That's the only record. So they sort of obviously fill in all the gaps and all this stuff, but there's so little known about, and it was a real unusual thing. I can't put it across.
Well, Henry VIII might have beheaded loads of these mistresses, but he was very diverse.
And Anne Boleyn was certainly not black. like Channel 5 would lead you to believe.
Yeah, but he was though, because like if you read about Henry VIII and you watch all the documentaries and do your own research, his court was actually was very diverse for the time, for the day, like but he was still a batshit crazy motherfucker.
He was a psychopath, basically.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but I understand why. See, here's the thing, right? I'm going to say something controversial, right? Very controversial here. But most of the shit that went down in England at the time when he was king wasn't all his fault. It was the people that were advising him, that were telling him all this shit about his missuses and all, because, like, back then it was all about, who you knew.
Oh, no.
Enemies and all of this.
He was waiting for someone to... Look, he surrounded himself with yes men, right? He wanted to get rid of her, so he managed to find someone who would stick his neck out and do it. And he got rid of anyone who's got in his way. And listen... Well, everything he did for his own self-benefit.
Yeah, 100%. And if I was king, I'd do the same thing. You being a bitch, you're gone. You betrayed me. Head off.
You heard it here first.
Well, have you heard I love how we've now become a historical moment. Have you heard the latest thing with the Henry saga? Is there's actually they've looked at scientifically, or sort of, I don't know how it is scientific. It's not just like somebody has made this up. That basically, when he had a really bad jousting injury,
caused brain damage.
Now a lot of people are starting to use that as the sort of the reasoning behind his behaviour.
that's very disputed. There's several different accounts of that.
It is in the history records, though, when he had that jousting accident, that he was out cold for hours and hours and hours.
And that his personality basically changed.
Now, does it excuse his behavior? No, but I think after that accident, he did change completely. His personality changed, because before that, he was actually, the people were saying that this Henry was going to be one of the greatest kings that they ever had, that everybody, including the people, had high hopes for him. He was well educated. He was very fit. He was athletic. He was, he wanted to do right by his people. But after that, it all changed. And then he started getting paranoid. Remember, this is a king that was paranoid. That's why his wives' heads were.
Well, it is paranoia that kept you alive back in those days, because, back then, they had so many conspiracies going on, Catholic plots.
Yeah, you're right there.
You've also got to remember his dynasty was very new.
And fighting for legitimacy as well.
Yeah, that's it. He couldn't have a legitimate kid.
The War of the Roses.
He had a daughter, wasn't good enough. He wanted a male heir. And that can drive, I suppose if you are, that'll drive people mad. But if I was king back then, I'd be doing the same thing. You're gone. That's why
when he married, was it Boleyn? I think it was because I think their family had more claim to the throne than him. So you had the marrying of the two roses, the red and the white roses.
Yeah.
Well, I think that stemmed from before then. Anyway, that was a creation by his father.
It was Henry the Fifth, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was
Henry the Sixth.
Yeah,
because he married something of York. Was it? What's her name? I want to say Elizabeth. I don't know if I'm right. He basically united the families.
Yeah, but all that sort of was propaganda, the red and the white rose.
Should they be fighting for hundreds of years, both sides, for the claim? Because both sides said they had a claim to the throne. Obviously, Henry's side of the
Henry's
didn't really have a legitimate claim, but
the Tudors were very, very illegitimate. Let's put it.
Yeah, they were basically upstarts. They were upstarts that got the throne because the Plantagenet, I can never say the name.
The Plantagenet
had ruled for like 100 years or more at that point. That whole family. So.
Welcome to Todd's own history lesson.
Yeah, we're educated. See this. We're not a bunch of fucking uneducated twats here. We know what we're actually talking about. So when we say Chris Chibnall does historicals crap, we know what we're talking about. So let's see if he lets us down tomorrow. Join me tomorrow, obviously, for the watch along. And then our Ted's playing with a bottle in the bedroom. Great. And then we'll have our panel, our expert panel. And it was quite good panel last week, I have to say. And congratulations to you all, because over 1,000 views for both of those streams. So we'll see you tomorrow for that. So we're going to leave it there. We're going to say good night. Enjoy our weekend. Stay safe. Look after yourselves. I'm going to watch Match of the Day now and cry because Manchester United got beaten by Manchester City.
I was thinking about you when I saw the score.
Yeah. And it's time for him to go, but I won't get into football because I know Lee doesn't like football. But all I'll say is, Ollie, you're a plank. You're at the wheel. The wheel's falling off. Get the fuck out of our club. I don't care if you're a club legend. It's time for you to leave. You're out of your depth. I'd even do a better fucking job with those players, man. Jesus Christ. Bleeding a PE teacher managing in the world. Yeah, I know, Lee. I'm shutting up now. Jesus Christ. Right, we'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one.
See you tomorrow.
Madness tomorrow. There's going to be loud madness. Fights and everything are going to break out tomorrow. So come and join us.
I would expect.
And Noel's going to be very, 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 very tolerant of other people's opinions tomorrow, aren't you, Noel?
Yes. I am tolerant of people. But what I hate is that what I've noticed is that there's people in certain Facebook groups that are commenting on an episode that they haven't even watched, and they're basing their opinion on a review from someone who actually said that they were going to be taking the piss out of the show. So, don't take those people seriously. And then, for someone out there to say that the CGI fans are disappointed by the CGI, it was one bloody scene. Get perspective. I know you hate the show. I know you hate Chris Chibnall for what he's done. But if you can't be honest and give an honest opinion, don't open your mouth at all. Simple as that. and that's how I feel about it. You know, a lot of echo chambers out there. It's at least on this channel we've got different varied opinions, and
because I didn't love it. And Noel, I didn't love it, and Noel was very like, "Yep, that's your opinion."
Yeah, exactly. I didn't like it either.
That's the difference. You watched it, so you have a right to have that opinion because you watched. I'm only giving out about people that are writing up big long threads and they haven't even seen the episode, but they're basing it off reviews from certain YouTubers out there. And I'm sorry, you're not going to fall for that bullshit. If you're not watching it, you've no right to comment about what's happening this season, right? It's as simple as that. Seriously, what's the point of making the same old tired comments? Oh, it's woke, it's diversity higher. And that is actually pissing me off, this whole thing with the woman with the one arm, they're calling her diversity higher. She's not. She's clearly going to play a bigger part in this fucking story, like, and people are just jumping the gun already. Like, wait until we fucking see what she actually does for us before you make that determination.
He didn't kill her off the first episode, so she's obviously got more than the usual.
She does.
Yeah. And there was also a rumour about Dan being related to a past companion.
Yeah, I've heard that as well. Yeah, there's
it's going to be something to do with Time Lords.
Listen, there's loads of rumours flying about who could make an appearance and who Dan could be, who Vinder could be. Next few weeks, hopefully we'll have some of those answers to those questions. And
hopefully.
But I do like Screen Rant. Screen Rant have tried hilariously, and someone actually did the title of the video, said hilariously tried to explain Doctor Who flux and the theories that they have, and they're just fucking ridiculous. Screen Rant has become a dead fucking entity now, man. I wouldn't be even listening to that, and they say, and Radio Times as well. They've got nothing better to do, and they're fucking coming up with theories and speculating who the next Doctor and all, and they're just way off. Just shut up. If you've nothing to write about, don't be writing at it at all, right? Just to fucking suit our own agenda. That's so fucking sick of it. Right, I'm off. See you later.
See you later.
Bye. All the channels are as usual. Go and check them out. And don't forget, Daniel did a stream on Friday, Line of Duty. Check it out. Real Super Doctor has a channel, and go and check out Lee's channel there as well. See you later, folks. Night.
Right, catch you later.